first of all, the most obvious one, of course, is the Rolex Explorer 2.
I think the Explorer 2 with a ceramic
Explorer 2.
Out of all the rumours, this seems to be the one that's a given at this point. If it doesn't happen, we'll all be shocked.
I'm just 99% sure that Rolex is going to launch an Explorer 2. Some renders that
big talk of the town.
So,
is
here's
the
what I
Explorer
think
2.
the
What is
50th anniversary
Rolex going to
Explorer 2 is
do
going to
with
look
the
like.
Explorer 2
The
special?
Oyster Perpetual.
I keep it in one of our Bark and Jack watch cubes. Really nice calf leather. This cube looks awesome as hell, but it's going to keep your watch safe as well. You can get these over at barkandjack.shop.
Oh man, I love a good Rolex bandwagon. All this talk of ceramic bezels from the pundits, and then Rolex releases a murky, shadowy teaser vid. Is the bezel ceramic? Is it steel? The hype train is at full speed. But I'm so happy personally that Rolex has not tinkered with the Explorer range too much. To be honest, it's the only part of the Rolex lineup that excites me, and the watches are perfect as they are. I'm delighted that the Explorer 1 has reverted back to 36mm. That was always the version that I wanted, but now it's got more modern specs, bracelet and clasp. So let's take a closer look, beginning with the Explorer 2, reference 226570. So I'm just so happy that the Explorer 2 retains the steel bezel dating back to 1971, and that all ceramic predictions were wrong. Created in 904L Oyster Steel, there is little to no change here from its predecessor. Even the diameter remains at 42mm. But if experience tells us anything with Rolex, we may need to get the watch in hand to discover its true dimensions. After all, the advertised 41mm sub released last year turned out to be around 40.5mm, but this watch remains slim at 12.5mm. The polar version retains its white lacquer dial with black PVD coded hour markers, minute and hour hands, and thankfully the GMT hand remains orange, not green, matching the Explorer 2 inscription as it has done since 2011. The lume, however, has received an upgrade, with Rolex reporting that it lasts longer in dark conditions but is more brilliantly white in daylight. These are qualities that I really appreciate in a lume. The Seiko looms are bright, but they always seem to appear creamy or yellow in daylight conditions. Rolex are reporting here that it will be brilliantly white, making the watch extremely legible during both the day and night. Big difference with the Explorer 2 is that it gets the COSC certified 3285 movement, which was introduced in the GMT Master 2 in 2018. The movement brings the power reserve up to 70 hours, which is becoming standard across all new Rolex watches. The 3285 increases resistance to magnetism thanks to the Chronergy escapement of parachrome hairspring. The movement also improves resistance to shocks, again thanks to its parachrome hairspring and Paraflex shock absorbers. Other differences, well, they're more difficult to discern. It definitely adds a coronet between the Swiss and made at 6 o'clock. The lugs may be slightly more svelte, and possibly the inscriptions are a tad more bold, but you couldn't know unless you held both this watch and the predecessor in hand at the same time. The watch has a 100 meter depth rating and sapphire crystal with cyclops and date at 3 o'clock. Priced at €8,200, the Explorer 2 actually represents good value if looking for a GMT complication compared to the GMT Master 2, priced at over $1,000 more at €9,350. Also worth mentioning that recent versions of the Explorer 2 currently command prices above retail on the secondary market. I see no reason for that to change, and we can expect the usual carry on with Rolex secondary pricing. So that means that if there isn't a rush to get the Explorer 2 for its new movement, then you can still expect waiting list at ADs just to get it at recommended retail price. Now, the Explorer 1 has had quite a significant change in that it reverts to its original 36mm, Rolex here, they seem to have simultaneously increased diameters and reduced them at the same time. The 36mm was always the one that I wanted, but now it gets the much improved bracelet, the 5mm adjustment and the 32-30 movement that has the 70 hours of power reserve and all the good stuff mentioned above, parachron, chronergy, etc, etc. I have to be honest though, what the hell were they thinking with the two-tone? Good luck everyone, Ben.